Terminated after 8 years, 10 mths over a simple mistake. Yesterday morning I was terminated from my IT role at a company I was employed by for almost 9 years. In my time there I have never received a review that was less than meets expectations, and my last review at the beginning of this fiscal year was an exceeds expectations. I had received multiple awards, bonus payments, and pay increases outside of our standard yearly merit increase due to my performance with the company. I had worked for 4 CIOs and 6 direct managers, and none of those people had ever seriously reprimanded or disciplined me in any capacity. After my last manager resigned in August, our IT director got the team together both individually and as a group to assure us multiple times that we were all in good standing, and he was proud to have us on the team. He shared a particular story regarding work I had previously done that impressed him. I was given no notice that there were concerns about my work or any indication that anyone in leadership was unhappy with my ongoing performances. However, while working on a ticket the week before I was dismissed, I accidentally clicked the wrong button in one of our management portals and started a disk type conversion. There was no confirmation given before the process started, and I was unable to stop or pause the job once it began. This caused a 17-minute outage in our production environment. I immediately reported what happened to my current manager, and at no point did I try to hide my involvement with the outage or pretend I didn't know what had caused the issue. During the call yesterday morning, the IT director referred to this as my unapproved escapades and thanked me for my 8 years of service. When I tried to plead my case or give any explanation for what had happened, I was dismissed outright and told nothing I said would change the outcome. Never forget that if you live in an at-will state in the US, you are one misclick away from losing the career you love. One simple mistake. There is no amount of goodwill you can earn, compliments from leadership you receive, or awards given that will protect you. You are a simple cog, and they will replace you without notice or warning. TLDRI. A long-term and highly decorated employee was dismissed yesterday morning from the career I loved after a misclick caused a brief production outage. Edit. As many folks have pointed out, even a brief outage can impact lives in a healthcare environment or large sums of money in finance. I wanted to clarify that this server was out of compliance with security policy, which is what I was investigating, and should not have been in use in any environment, let alone production. Don't beat yourself up over this. This is not the reason you were fired. After almost 9 years at this company, you are now an expensive employee, and they wanted to replace you with someone cheaper. A critical system should at the least have a confirmation dialog. A critical production system should have a double confirmation system. Shit happens, you always have a confirmation on production systems. Try to fire an employee like this one in Belgium country, and she will sue your ass with lawyers and get work inspection to check the entire company. Meanwhile, a judge will fine the company in court, and it will have to pay large fines and compensation for the employee. Crazy differences with the US. 10 shit 1000 attaboys. Some jobs look for any reason to get rid of you, and the slightest little slip up and they have what they need. When I worked at Walmart, it seemed like if you got promoted then you were on your way out, and I was proven right when I got promoted and was fired 2 months later. They were probably looking for an excuse to can you, and that one dropped in their lap. 8 years, 10 months of your time given. Fired for a 17-minute outage. It's insanity. You got scapegoated. The problem, as you pointed out, is that the system is a misclick away from an outage. Your boss doesn't want to take responsibility for that, so they fired the guy that did the misclicking. It just goes to show never ever show any loyalty to companies. Only people. Because companies will never return the favor. Sorry you are going through this. The capability to bring production to a halt with the click of a button seems like a major system oversight and not an individual failing. Unfortunately, your IT director probably embellished the situation to throw you under the bus and save their own ass. Fired you to hire someone at lesser pay. Holy shit, living in an at-will state must be terrifying. Well, there are other companies out there that will appreciate you. It sounds like you lasted longer than the revolving door of management there, if I read that right. And really, as much as it sucks, you are better off without those pieces of shit. Make sure you apply for unemployment. Not sure which state you're in, but after the initial denial you'd probably win an appeal here. The bourgeoisie are not human. If your ticketing system contains buttons that take down the production environment if clicked accidentally, that is a really shitty system. It was just a matter of time before that happened to someone. The ticketing system and the system to rewrite the disk the production environment lives on should be nowhere near each other and should have nothing to do with each other. I was once fired for a false report that I threatened to blow up the building. I don't even know how to build a bomb, and I believe in peace. Probably a good thing in the end for you. I'm confident you will find a job that is far better paying. If 17 minutes of downtime gets you fired. Wow, dude. I know a place where they're having downtime all the time. From 5 minutes to a day. And this is a live production revenue-facing environment. Yes. Technically you fucked up and you should have had a post-mortem after it. But one mistake in a 9-year career is nonsense unless, and it has to be added, that 17 minutes cost the company $17 million. Then yes, I'm thinking it wasn't nearly that bad. This is why we unionize. Remember, your time at that company ended, not your career. You can still work on what you like. This is exactly why I moved to Mexico, doing the bare minimum to pay bills. There is too much stress for too little pay and no security. None of this is motivational. If it's any consolation, it looks like they were just firing people and your misclick was just their excuse. You had been there 9 years, you were fired because they know that they can find someone who can do your job for a lot cheaper. It sucks, honestly. I have thought about turning down raises in the future so that I can remain cheapish with my company I have been at 3 years. It'd be a shame if their system went out again for longer than a few minutes, would be a real shame. 8-year vet makes too much, fire their ass. Management, probably. I assume you will not repeat that mistake. So, your next employer will profit from the stupidity of your last one. Mistakes happen. If the company has that bad of an error culture, you don't want to be working there anyway. Mistakes are opportunities to learn. What would have happened if there had been a controller failure that was not your fault? The environment came back after 17 minutes. How do they cope with other outages? See, the problem here is you were honest. Honesty always gets punished, which is why medical mistakes is one of the leading causes of death in the US. You got terminated because someone was butthurt about your paycheck and was waiting on a single slip up. They were already looking to fire you. This was just the excuse they needed. You couldn't pull the plug, electric plug. Your job doesn't care about you. And never will. Pretty sure they were already looking to lay you off. This minor mistake just gave them an excuse to do it. Did you receive severance? This is why nobody should ever break their back for their employer. At a moment's notice, they'll throw you in the trash and not think twice about it.